I want to thank the Academy for this award. It means so much to me, and we all know that the Best Actor award should have gone to just Tom Hanks for Sully because he was brilliant and everything. But if he was the only one who got an award, then my feelings would be hurt. So it's better, you just give it to all of us, even though he deserved it. And besides, don't forget the range and the depth and the emotion I displayed in my movie. Oh, it just gets worse and worse. So what I'm absorbing here is Herbie the hamster contracted herpes from a hamster whore while we were having a holiday in the Hamptons? So even though Tom Hanks, he had to study his character, basically become another human being, and did so in a manner that was just magnificent, and he clearly was the best actor, I think it's only right that I got a trophy too. Because fuck Tom Hanks, that's why. Okay, before I get too deep into this, everyone should get an award type mentality, I have to say that this suggestion for this video, for this discussion, was given to me by one of you guys in the comments section of one of our videos, and today when I went to record it, I went to find that comment so I could attribute the person who suggested it to me, and I can't find it for the life of me. So whoever it was, I apologize so much to you because this was a really good idea, a topic I'd like to talk about and would have never thought of on my own. So please accept my apologies and understand that I am fairly severely brain damaged, and that leads to a lot of incidents like this. But that said, what do you guys think about this everyone gets an award, everyone gets a trophy mentality that we seem to have nowadays? And for those of you who aren't clear on what I'm talking about, years ago, let's use Little League Baseball. If you were playing youth baseball, at the end of the season, they would have awards for, whatever you happen to do best. MVP, the most valuable player, most hits, most innings pitched, whatever it may be, and you'd get awards. Well, now that's morphed into, to protect everyone's feelings, it's morphed into a thing where in youth league sports, for the most part, everybody just gets a nice little trophy. And that's so we don't hurt anybody's little psyche, and they don't feel that they're inferior to someone else, and everybody can, gosh gee willikers, be exactly the same, which of course is entirely impossible and would make life unbearable if we were all exactly the same. So do you guys think that this mentality makes children more well-adjusted, or is it just more likely to turn them into a bunch of whiny pussies? Okay, now before you go saying, okay, I know which way Curtis leans on this, I can tell by the subtle sarcasm he's employed so far, not so fast. I actually see both sides of this issue, and I can tell you why. And not only that, I can tell you why using some stunning visual aids. Hold on. Now, these are two items that come directly off a shelf I have here in my room where I put some of my most prized memories. This is one of the trophies that Spaz Kid got for Little League when he was playing. Actually, it was his last year in Little League, and so it's very special to me. This is an award Spaz Kid got that same year, as a matter of fact, for winning first place in a singing contest. It was our local area's Got Talent type thing. And he won. And he was the only, middle school, or it might even been, I think it was fifth grade. He was in 5th grade and beat a bunch of high school kids. Now, the interesting thing is, you would say, okay, well, this is a trophy given to everybody. It doesn't have the meaning that this does. Not true. It has a different meaning. You see, this trophy represents one aspect of my son's life. He played Little League for every year that he was eligible, and for most of those years, including this one, I was his coach. Just looking at this trophy brings back a lot of really, really cool, fond memories for me. So I'm really, honestly, sincerely glad I have it. Now this, he had to have a talent to win. This was not something given out to everyone. So it has its own special meaning as well, because he did a really good job singing that night, and he was clearly an underdog being that young, and he won, and I'll never forget that evening. So they both have a lot of meaning for me, just from different directions. You see, most awards or trophies you get, for the most part, they're mementos. They're things that bring up memories of something you have done. Granted, it should be something that you have done successfully, whereas with the Little League trophy, you just had to participate. But nonetheless, it still does a really good job of bringing back some fond memories. You see, I don't really have a problem with like the Little League giving an award to everybody, giving a trophy to everybody, but I don't understand why they don't give a trophy to everybody and then also give awards for excellence. If you were the best hitter in the league, you were the best pitcher in the league, whatever you accomplished, that should be recognized. I mean, there's no reason that you can't give a trophy, maybe a little medal or whatever to everybody who participated, so they will have that great memento, but also give an award for excellence. And if the kids who really excelled and did well get that award and somebody else is jealous because they weren't quite good enough to get it, too bad. I mean, welcome to life. From the time Spaz Kid, Braxton, you know Spaz Kid's name is Braxton. Braxton was little. He was never a sports nut like I've always been. But he always played. He played baseball. He played a year of football. He wrestled some. And I always told him, listen, in sports, if you want to be the starter, to quote Ric Flair, if you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. If you want to be the starter, there's a path to that. It's called get better than the guy in front of you. And if you're not better than the guy in front of you, you sit the bench, you support your team, and you fill your role. I don't believe in telling a kid, well, Little Billy's not getting to play much. Well, Little Billy never practices. Little Billy doesn't take it serious. When Little Billy's on the field, maybe he's eating dirt between shortstop and third base rather than paying attention, so he's not starting. I mean, when the kids are real little, when you're talking 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and they're just starting out in sports, yes, everybody should get a turn to play, because we're just trying to figure things out. We're just trying to get you to run to the right damn base, okay? Or if you're on the football field, we're just trying to get you to run towards the right goal. But when they start getting a little older, it's time, I believe, for the kids to start learning that there's going to be a hierarchy. If you're better at something, you're going to get more playing time. And by the time they're in the majors division of Little League, I personally believe, yes, you can guarantee all the kids playing time, but you only guarantee them an inning. The starter should get the bulk of the time. And if you want to be one of those starters, you got to work harder. That's life. That's the way things are. You might as well start getting used to it. I remember reading an article. This is true. This was years ago. I'd never be able to find it again. And I hope this doesn't still exist. But years ago, I read an article about a youth baseball league in California where they banned the word loss or losing or loser. So in other words, when you had a game, you had the team that won and the team that didn't win. Because we don't want anyone to feel the weight of being called a loser. We don't want them to be reminded that they weren't good enough. Oh, shut the fuck up. Life is about, you're going to lose sometimes in life. I don't give a shit who you are. You're going to take losses. And if you're smart, you'll learn from them. Because I've learned a lot more from my losses in life than I have my wins. Wins are fond memories, and you put them in your back pocket. But losses, if you're doing things right, those are what drive you. Because if you don't like losing, you know there's only one alternative. Get better and stop. And that's true in all of life. You can't take away the concept of losing because then winning isn't as sweet. And it never will be. So that's the danger to me of everybody gets a trophy. When you make it that bland, everybody gets a trophy, nothing else. No excellence, no recognition for being exceptional. You're creating a world full of drones. Now, I know we as parents tend to make things easier for our kids nowadays than parents made things for us back in my day. And don't get me wrong, that's not a criticism. I am not one of these old people who has this boner for the old days, because for the most part, the old days sucked. I mean, the ways we used to do most everything sucked ass. So I'll make a separate video on that at some point, just for you younger people, so that when the older person comes to you and tries to tell you that back in my day, we had a way of doing things, and everybody respected this, and there was no violence, and nobody did that, yeah, fuck you, bullshit. when I was a kid, a lot of things were substantially worse, and the people were morons for the most part, okay? We've gotten a lot smarter over the past couple generations, but that's a separate issue. But I am guilty of making things really easy for Braxton. However, from day one, I've always monitored him to make sure that the things I was doing to try and make his life easier were not turning him into a douchebag. I can't stand spoiled kids, and I can't stand snotty, entitled people. And no matter what I've done for Braxton over the years, he's always been super, super appreciative of it. I remember when he was really little, he would have been in kindergarten. He had just gotten out of preschool. And his teacher caught me in school one day, and she was smiling. She said, "I got to tell you the story." Well, back then I was still wrestling a fairly heavy schedule, and Braxton was starting to get pretty fascinated with the wrestling. And I told him, I said, "Listen, bud," I said, "you don't want to be a meathead like Dad." I said, "You don't want to be in there getting your skull crushed by metal folding chairs. You're special. You're smart. You're going to be a thinker. I want you to be a thinker, not a meathead." So I guess that day in kindergarten, it was early in the year, the teacher went around the room, and all the kids were supposed to tell them what they wanted to be when they grew up. And Braxton said, "I want to be a thinker." And the teacher said, "You want to be a what?" And she's thinking, he wants to be a granite pose like that. And he goes, "No," he says, "My dad says that I need to be a thinker, and that's what I want to be." So he always stuck with that. He's always been the best friend a person can have. He's always been a loyal person and a very grateful person. And I'm super grateful for that because it's allowed for me to do a lot of things for him. But my fear is parents that don't want to have that level of involvement, either through disinterest or just busy schedules or whatever you want to attribute it to. I'm afraid that the everybody gets a trophy mentality can turn young people into douchebags. And I want to know what you guys think. Is that true? I mean, I think with strong parental involvement, you can undo any type of evil. Or it doesn't even have to be evil. You can undo any type of influence that you don't want your child to have. But for so many parents, it seems like it's difficult to have that level of involvement. And that's where I think everybody gets a trophy, turns into everybody's a self-entitled douchebag. So what do you guys think? Should everybody get a trophy? Or should only the top performers get awards? Or should everybody get a trophy and the top performers get awards also? I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys' experiences with all of this are. Did you get a trophy? Did everyone get a trophy? Are trophies the begin all and end all of the universe? Are trophies what are going to take our whole society to the next level? Don't know, but I want to know what you guys think. And most importantly, at the top of this video, my performance was better than anything Tom Hanks has ever done, right? No, come on, you can lie, just agree, whatever. Better than anything he did in Philadelphia or on that island talking to that stupid fucking volleyball or soccer ball or whatever it was, Wilson. Fuck you, Wilson. I did Herbie the Hamster. I mean, I didn't do Herbie the Hamster. Mine was better.